engaging your core. Weight should be in the heels of your feet, not your toes right now. Looking for about 20 reps. Deep breath in on the inhale, exhale, fall. Sometimes people experience cramp in the hamstring or calf throughout this. If this is you, have a play around with your foot placement. Not too close or too far from your hips. And make sure your ankles and knees are in a line. And with 5, 4, you should start to feel a warm, burning sensation in the bum cheeks, so you know you're doing it right. 1 more, hold or release, and we're going to pulse up and down for 20. Deep breaths, you come in and out of this if you need to. Start to feel warm sensation in your lower back area, with the hips, as this is strengthening that area as well. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Knees in, Apanasana, hug and roll side to side, feeling the tension being released. Deep breaths. Okay, don't go into that again. Standing the glute bridge all the way up, all the way down. Hold on to the side of the mat if that's more comfortable for you. Hips should be as high as your knees. Number 10, 9. Try and ignore that burning for as long as you can. 5, 3, 2, 1. Release or hold for a pulse for 20. Deep breaths. Only coming down a little bit, keeping the tension in the glutes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 2, 1. Release. Apanasana. We're going to single leg. So you can do the same again, or foot up as straight as you can. Bend it if you want to make it a little bit more easier. Hips up as high as you can. Have a look down. Make sure your hips are stable and they're even. On the way up and down. Looking for between 6 and 8. So these are tough. Stabilising the pelvis, good for balance. And 3, 2, 1. And hold. Deep breaths. We're going to wiggle and move left and right. That leg. Trying to keep balanced. A total of 6, 3, 2, 1. Release. Well done. Over to the other side. All the way up, all the way down. Between 6 and 8. See how you get on this side? Bringing your hips up as high as you can, all the way back down, getting full range of movement from the glute. 3, 2, 1. Hold. In and out with the leg for 6. Feeling that tension. Really feel your abs kicking. 1. And release. Apanasana, moving up. Deep breaths. The glute muscles are the strongest in the body, so they need hammered for any training to take effect. Lots of different ways. We'll do that again. Starting up and down between 6 and 8, or as many as you can. Match these first round's reps if you're able to. And 2, 1, hold, in and that core, keep it stable. More, and release. Over to the other side. Oxygen into the working muscle groups. Feet together, knees out to the side. Neutral spines in the lower back curve. Try to relax your hip and inner groin area. Allowing yourself to feel that stretch in the inner groin. You can put your fists underneath your legs if you're unable to relax. Deep breath. Or you can straighten your legs a little bit more. It becomes less intense. One more big deep breath in. Good. Making our way up into standing position. So we've just been working our glutes, so they're easier to connect to during the next exercises, and hopefully you'll see a difference, a change in your balance. Now the glutes are switched on. If you're a bit fatigued, they're easier to know when to train them. So lateral leg lift all the way up, all the way down. So work on balance with the icy nights on the way. Make sure you're trying to distribute your weight evenly, sitting or standing upright. You're not leaning over to one side to get that leg up. As high up as you can. 3, 2, 1. Same leg into semicircle. Coming all the way back, crossing over that leg and bending and stabilising knee. To work on stability and strength of the knee, engaging the core. 5, 4, 2, 1. Good. Forward leg raises. 10. Tapping the floor. So it's a bit of a hamstring stretch as well. And hip flexor work, you feel it in the inner, top of the thigh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, well done. Into calf raises, all the way up, all the way down, toes to ceiling for a stretch and a flex, so strengthening and flexibility for Achilles. 10. So these are endurance muscles, so high reps. Bending at both knees. And this leg, the stabilising leg before, will probably be burning more because it's just been working hard, keeping you stable. 2, 1. Good. Now over to the other side. Lateral leg lift. 12. Let's compare balance on this side. 2, 1, into semicircles, crossing over the front leg. You're working the piriformis as well here. If you do lose balance on this side compared to the other side, not a big deal, you're training yourself to improve. Just correct as needed. Your brain will remember this over time. 2, 1, good. Forward leg raise and toe tap. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Back into calf raises with a flex. For ankle strength and stability. 10. 6. 3, 2, 1. Good. Shaking up your legs. Feel free to have a drink. We're going to work on the inner thigh strength. You don't really know, so you don't really realise how tight your hips are until you start to work on them. It really does improve the quality of your movements and the flow. So we're going to go as wide as we can. Toes slightly pointing outwards. And as we do this, our knees track over the middle of our foot or where your shoelace would be to open up this space in the inner thigh. And come down as far as you can, chest up, bum right back. I'm going to pulse 10, 9, deep breaths, 8, 6, let it burn, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rise. Same position. This time we come down, straightening one leg, leaning over to the other for side lunges. So hips back, feeling that stretch in the straight leg, that's what you're searching for. Exhale, coming down, inhale to lengthen. Good. Another 5, 4, shift them hips right back. If you feel any knee pain, make sure your knee isn't tracking over your toes, shift your hips back further, or don't come down as far. Good. And then we'll come into the triangle, both sides. So you can take a block if you've got one, if you need that. So the right leg's faced forward, and then the other one's faced towards the left side. So first thing to happen is hips shift back in space, and you feel that inner thigh stretch again. You can come down onto your thigh, or you can come further down onto a block, into the triangle. Good. And you're going to bring your arm right up. You can use your knee for purchase. You want to be all in one line, like it's planes of glass in front and behind you. Pushing right back. It's a nice twist. Deep breath in. And exhale. If you want to make it more difficult, you can try to straighten that front leg. Remember to shift them hips right back. Allow yourself to feel that deep hamstring, inner thigh stretch. One more big deep breath. Good. Bending both knees. Coming upright. Turning over to the other side. Shift those hips back, allow that stretch. Carefully come down. What's this side like? Looking at your thumb, core's engaged. You're strengthening your neck muscles as well with this. Breathe. If you want to progress it, straighten that front leg. Shifting them hips back. You can feel that nice, it's a hip opener, this one of the first ones. You feel it nice above the hip as well. One more big deep breath in. Excellent, bend both knees, coming upright. I'm going to do that again. Starting with wide squat pulse, pushing the hips out, pulsing for 10, 9, good. Keeping as low as you can. Allowing that burn sensation in the legs as they get stronger. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Good. Over to side lunges. Again, shifting the hips back. How does it feel as you're doing these now? Is there any change? Sometimes it takes a couple of sets for something to feel better, more natural. Just make sure you're getting really deep in that thigh. Inhale and rise, exhale as you fall. 3, 2, 1. Good. Into triangle. Let's see if we can get a little bit deeper this time. So coming down, bending at the front leg. That's your first option. So I love the stretch above the hip. Around this area I get tight, so I'm really leaning into that. 3 deep breaths. If you want more of a hamstring stretch, straighten that leg. Can you get deeper? Now the muscles are nice and warm, it's a good chance to work on flexibility. Good, bending both knees. And over to the other side. But again, this is a balance exercise as well. Core engaged, looking at your thumb. Deep breaths help relax the central nervous system. Gets you, first thing that gets you out of fight or flight response and into rest and digest is your breath. Long, slow exhale. One more big deep breath. Well done, bending both knees. To come out, feel free to grab a drink. Move on to the side of the stomach. Move over to shoulder and elbow. So we've all got really good at side planks now. I've been told to make it harder. Do you think you can play that hard? So let's hold it a bit longer. So let's have a play around with progression in side planks. So make sure your elbows directly into the shoulder. I'm going to start with reps all the way up, feeling the curve and all the way down for the stretch. Looking for 15. You need to come in and out of this with the shoulder. You are strengthening the shoulder. But also I find holding something activates the forearm, becomes a little bit easier on the elbow. 5, 4, 3, 2. So you can either release or you can pulse. 1, 2, 3. In and out of that curve. For 15 and 8, 10, 12, 13. Again, option to release or hold 15 seconds. Deep breath. Allow yourself to feel that tension inside your stomach for 3, 2, 1, and then you've got 5. Inhale and exhale as that knees come into your elbow. Big stretch back. As many as you can, all 6. One more, you really feel your back activating. It's a nice stretch as well. When you finish the last rep, release, knee forward, top knee back for flexibility in the sides laterally, which is really important for if you slip on anything. Pushing the hip into the ground, chest proud, relax the neck. Stretches the rib area out as well. Good. I'm going to do that giant set all over again on the same side. Or if you want to make it easier, swap sides. So you want to hold on to the mat to activate the forearm, a bit easier on the elbow directly under. Start with 50 reps or as many as you can. You can come in and out with this as much as you need to. 7, 6, 10. Release or hold, 15 seconds. Breathe, 10. 5. Release or an additional 5. In and out, big stretch out. 3, 4, 5, release. God, I'm feeling that tomorrow. Find some mother. Big stretch over. Let's see if you can get a little bit further over. And use that warmth you've created for flexibility. Excellent. Feel free to grab a drink. So move over to the other side. So we'd like to go to our stronger side there, perhaps. So if this is your weaker side, just be patient with it. You might need to split up the reps a little bit. We're holding onto the mat for elbow directly under. 15. 3. All the way down. To strengthen the full muscle. 13. If you're in pulse of 15, or as many as you were on the other side. 9, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold 15 seconds. Breathe and allow yourself to feel the way you want to tone and strengthen. 3, 2, 1, and then come in for a knee and stretch. For 5, pushing that knee all the way back as far as you can, stretching the hip flexor. 1 more. Excellent. Now I'm definitely tighter on this side. Inhale. Pushing your hips into the ground. Chest proud. Relaxing your neck. One more big deep breath. Last round on this side. Now you've pretty much done all the hard work. 15, you ready? Okay, if you're feeling that burn in the shoulder, that's normal. All the way down. Be patient with your weaker side. 2, 1, pulse for another 15 if you can. 7, 3, 2, 1, hold for 15. 4, I'm struggling on this side. 4, 3, 2, 1, in and out for 5. It's not hard, it's not going to change any strength. 1 more. Jesus. Oh. That was a toughie. Inhale and exhale. Done it, well done.
Done it, got the t-shirt on.
Deep breath. cat-cow. Exhale, spine to ceiling. Inhale, cow. Notice how your back's feeling today. And you're stretching it out in the cow. Downward dog. Paddling the heels out. The more bent your knee is, the less pressure on your back. You feel this in the shoulders as well because we've just been working there. And midway for the dragon, or you can go into a low lunge stretch, whichever you prefer. If you're going into the dragon, left leg up and over and matches your left hand, or if you want to come into a low lunge, feel free. We're just settling in, using our deep breaths. Exhale like you're steaming a window. Hip flexor stretch, massive hip opener. Pushing your knee out to the side, moving a little bit, bringing in a little bit of movement left and right for the hips. Seeing how it feels, feeling any restriction. Big part of Pilates is having that education on your body, where your tightnesses are, your problem areas, so you can work through them. Deep breaths. Keep trying to find space so you can straighten that back leg a little bit more, but make sure you're not coming further back. Again, moving left and right. And from here, you've got the option to dragonfly. A bit like you thread the needle, up and down for fuller, pushing right back. Rocking forwards and backwards. From here, stretching the glutes out into pigeon. Simple. Deep breaths. Stretching the glutes. Nice gentle one this for your bum. Exhale, if you feel more comfortable, you can come onto your elbows. Allowing yourself to feel that stretch. Coming back into downward dog. Paddling out them heels. How does that feel on that side that you've just worked on? Do you feel more stretched out? Get to know how it feels, and you can appreciate these things more. You're more likely to do them more. Good. Right leg comes up and over into dragon. Or again, you can go into a low lunge. So this is your other option. If that's too intense for you, go into a low lunge. If you're in the dragon, settle in, moving left and right. Looking for space, looking for tension. You're leaning into any tight areas. Nice and warm now to work on these. Trying to find space to straighten that back leg a bit more. If you feel alright too, into dragonfly fuller. Pushing the arm right back. Good. Rocking side to side. Deep breaths. And then your way over to the pigeon. Making sure you're not being pulled off centre. Try and keep yourself in the middle. you're able to, you can go onto your elbows or lie down. Trying to relax. One more big deep breath. Good. Water break before we move on to seated. Bringing in some ab work. Your starting position is here, or you can go onto your elbows. That's more comfortable. Chest proud, shoulders down, knees are up in tabletop. Just going to move left and right. So you want to curve in the lower back, your abs are protecting your lower back. Have a play around with what feels better for you. This is the easier version. It's still difficult, but I mean easy and safe from the back. Bring in a little rock, hip comes off the floor, abs are engaged, chest proud. 10, 9, using them lower abs. 6. Deep breaths, 4, 3, 2. Rest or continue with an extended leg at the top. For another 12. Adding more weight to the lower core for strength and tone. 5. Good. 8. It's burning the lower core below the belly button, that's how you know it's working. Last 2. 1. Good. Release. Inhale, arms rise. One more. Filling the lungs completely. And slow exhale. Like you're fogging the window. One leg is straight up in the air, the other one is bent. Ribcage tucked in, belly button to spine, back is flat on the floor. And bring that left leg out and in, a straight leg. For 10. 11. 7. 6. Really feel this in the inner thighs, you tone and strengthen, stretch it. 2. 1. Can rest or continue with a crunch. Out and in, crunch. For an additional 6. All the way up, all the way down. 3, 2, 1. Good. And knees in, and roll. Swapping over. Relaxing the neck. In and out for 12. Keeping that core engaged. You should feel the core burning if you're using it all. Keep that back flat. Another 6, 5. Feel this above the hip area as well. 2. Training your core to protect your back as your limbs move away. Then for an additional 6 with a crunch. 2, 3, 5, one more. When you've finished your last rep, inhale, arms rise. Well done. One more big deep breath in. Excellent. Stretching the legs and the arms away from the centre. Big stretch like you just got out of bed. Got more of a back curve. Bending both knees. Shifting your hips over to the right, knees over to the left for spinal twist. Both shoulder blades should be flat on the mat to start. When you're ready, you might want to extend that leg from the top and hold on to the back of the knee for more of a load and a stretch and lower back. But your shoulder needs to be on the floor. as well. Try and switch off any muscles that are tensed up using an exhale. So deep breath in, push the belly out. Exhale, sink. I used to twitch and spasm in my back when I first started doing these. It was me going too deep too soon. So if that's happening or I feel any twinges, just bend both knees. Allow yourself to feel the stretch. If you tighten these areas, you'll feel the pull and the stretch in these areas. The ribs, above the hip, the lower back, the glute. One more big deep breath in. I feel like I could spend all morning on this. Bending both knees, taking your time. Over to the left. Just sitting semi-supine for a moment and reset. You can feel that stretch melt away. Feels good. Now we'll shift our hips over to the left, knees over to the right, arms out to the side. Plant your shoulder blades on the floor. Deep breaths to relax the fight flight. You can extend that leg on this side if that feels good. Notice where you're feeling it. On this side, it might be in different areas. So I'm especially tight around my rib area, which is quite common. You might not be able to progress it yet on this side. Just be patient. Exhale, long exhale like you're steaming a window. Allow yourself to feel that stretch and that pull nice and gently. One more big deep breath. Direction your knees are facing, bend them both, and come onto the side your knees are facing. Use your hands to come up. Move our way over onto our bellies. For a gentle back bend, just going to settle in to this position. Pushing your hips into the floor. Before you bring your elbows up off the floor, sorry, your shoulders, you're going to squeeze your bum cheeks. So clench your bum cheeks to protect your lower back. Bring your elbows, not directly under your shoulders yet, but you're squeezing your bum cheeks, pushing your hips into the floor and feeling that curve and that stretch deep in your lower back. Deep breaths. And hold that position. Feel that you're able to and progress it so your elbows are directly under your shoulders. This is such an important movement. I was at the Highland Hotel the other day and I kicked a stone. I was walking around, kicked a stone and my pelvis shot forward past my toes, and I was cold as well, I'd not been walking. And if I hadn't been doing this cobra, because my spine is used to, and my muscles are used to supporting my spine, with this bend, I would have definitely pulled something, 100%. So it's so valuable doing these things because you wouldn't normally do this on a daily basis, would you? If you want to make it more difficult, make sure that bum cheeks are squeezed. Coming into seal. Deep breaths. Trying to sink into it. One more deep breath. Coming down slowly, switching your bum cheeks off. Resetting Noticing how your back feels. Then we're going to counter pose, or bending the other way. But first, hips come up to protect the lower back, shifting back into child's pose. You can feel that tension release from the lower back. Last gentle back bend. We're coming to a puppy pose. Really, like one of my favourites at the moment. It's good for rounded shoulders and tight shoulders. So your thighs stay like that. You're coming down. Your arms over your head. Biceps next to ears. You're just sinking. So you're looking for a back bend here, or some tension in the base of your back, like we were feeling before. Deep inhale and exhale, release. You lead it, trying to get your forehead on the floor. And if you want to increase the stretch, you can bend your elbows and hands to behind your neck. Stretches the back of the arm, the tricep, as well as your lats, which are responsible for rounded shoulders. It's a really good one, this, for anyone who has a desk job. One more big deep breath in. Well done. Coming back into child's pose to counteract. Feeling that tension release. It's getting more mobility to the thoracic areas of the spine that tend to stiffen up around the shoulder blade area. Left arm, right arm over to the left. Pushing your hip down in child's pose. Opening up the sides, the stomach, under the arm, feeling the stretch. Might want to rock side to side ever so gently. And over to the right. Making your way over to a seated position. Practice some box breathing for a moment. Sitting tall, shoulders down away from ears, stacking your vertebrae like books. Inhale through the nose and a slow exhale through the nose. Inhale for 4, your own count of 4. Pause for 2 and your own count of 5 on the exhale. Filling the lungs completely. Using your diaphragm. That uses your pelvic floor. Keep sitting tall, upper posture check. I encourage you to check your posture throughout the day when you're cooking meals. How are you standing? How are you sitting? Keep correcting yourself and eventually you won't have to. These connections can be relearned, these habits can be retaught.